Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of Stats Chat. I am Anand Narsimhan. Ladies and gentlemen, here on Cricket Next, we are setting up for the World Cup. But let's look back. कोशिश ये है कि we'll try and understand how has the last year or the last 10 months been for all the teams in the one-day international format. Clearly, the run-up you'd want to see on form. How are each teams placed? Somewhere it will also help us understand that going into the tournament, किसके chances कैसे लग रहे हैं. So from the 1st of Jan till the 1st of October 2023, how have the teams fared? Who's played how much of one-day cricket? Let's try and take a look. So overall, on the scheme of things, India has played the second largest number of matches behind Sri Lanka, which has played 22 matches. But overall, we have a far better win percentage compared to some of the other teams. If you look at it, we've had 15 wins in 21 matches with a win percentage of 71. The closest is South Africa with a 67% win percentage. And thereafter, some of the other teams with 64 and 63% win percentages. But overall, if you look at it, we've not only played the second highest number of matches, but we've got perhaps the best of the win percentage. So we are on form, winning more matches compared to some of the other teams. Also, statistics here on StatsChat show that when India is batting first, our win percentage actually goes above the median of 71% to 73%. The only other team that has a higher win percentage batting first is South Africa, which has won 83% of its matches, and then behind that is Pakistan at 71%. Now, chasing. This is where it dips a bit below the average, and that's at 70%, but we are the best team chasing, ladies and gentlemen. We are the best team chasing compared to some of the other teams. The closest is 7% behind is Pakistan while chasing with a win percentage of 63, and then Sri Lanka. South Africa is fourth. So we're doing well even while chasing. So overall 70%, 7 on 10, 6 on 10 is Sri Lanka. Now, if you look at the run rates, this is where it gets a little interesting. We have a healthy run rate of 6.11 overall in the 21 matches that we've played. But there are teams which are scoring better than us at a higher run rate. Bangladesh at 6.74, New Zealand at 6.49, Australia at 6.37. Now, here's the thing. The twist is if you look at, this is the overall run rate. It goes up. We are number 2 when batting first. 6.5 plus is our run rate. Second only to an England, which is at 6.83. And South Africa is close behind, almost neck and neck with India at about same 6.55%, 6.55 the run rate. But this is where things dip. We have a problem when we are chasing. When we are chasing, our run rate is 5.46 in the chases. If you were to see South Africa going close to 7 and over, Australia again near abouts at 6.75 mark, New Zealand at 5.74. But then we dip. And that reflects in the fact that the highest score in ODIs, while batting first, is 399. That was recently in the series against Australia. South Africa have breached the 400 mark in this year itself at 416. There are other teams which have come close to 400. India is the closest to 400. Australia 392. England 368. But if we come to the second innings, we have not gotten beyond 300. And that's why our net run rate overall at 5.46 shows that our highest score, India, is 286. So we've not breached the 300 mark while chasing, but we have a higher win percentage while chasing. That means we've been able to restrict teams inside 300 and win these games. So those could also be looked at successful chases because we've held back the opposition. Now, the instances where there have been scores of more than 300 plus, all of these 7 have come while we are batting first, clearly. And some Mizafa has happened recently in the Asia Cup and also in the series against Australia. England is second with 6 300 plus scores, South Africa with 5. Now, let's look at this. Most hundreds and 50s, again, we top the list in terms of centuries scored, in terms of half centuries scored. 11 centuries, 28 half centuries for India. So we are on form. Our batters are doing quite a good job scoring hundreds and also scoring half centuries. And it's across the batsmen. So we'll show you that also. Let's get to the batting list. Top run getter for Bharat. Well, this young lad, Shubman Gill, what a year he has had across all formats. And that also reflects in 1,230 runs scored. He's the only player to score more than 1,000 runs in the last 10 months. and he's done it at a phenomenal rate. Pace, his highest is 208. But interesting to see that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are also in the list of top 10. Let's look at Babar Azam doing very well for Pakistan, and Fakhar Zaman, and of course Mohammad Rizwan. So 3 batsmen from India, 3 batters from Pakistan make it into the top 10. There is Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and then South Africa and New Zealand. So no Australia in the top 10 in the last 10 months. Interesting statistic this. Now, let's look at the bowling averages. There's a reason why we've been doing well while chasing, because we've restricted teams, and the bowlers, India has perhaps the healthiest of the bowling average in the last 10 months compared to some of the other teams. Sri Lanka come a close, but otherwise, everybody else breaching, flirting around the 30-run mark. In fact, Australia going at 38.6. So the Aussie bowlers are leaking a lot of runs for every wicket that they take. So this is becoming a concern area for nations like Australia. Look at this, South Africa at 30.59, Pakistan at 31.46. So the Aussie, Pakistan and South Africa bowlers are actually not taking wickets at the pace at which, or at the rate at which we are taking, or our bowlers are taking. So bowling clearly emerging as a strong point now for Bharat. Let's look at the economy. Even in the economy, we are third behind Bangladesh and Sri Lanka at 5.35. Very healthy. The subcontinent teams scoring way above the non-subcontinent teams, and this tournament is here in this region. So clearly the bowling will become a key for all of us. 5-wicket hauls again. Sri Lanka leads with 4 5-wicket hauls. India has 3 5-wicket hauls. Siraj and Shah, helped themselves this time around in the series against Australia. But this also shows that a bowling average of 23, but less number of 5-wicket hauls. That means we've got a better spread of bowlers who are equally getting into the wickets. So it's an interesting statistic here. And the best of our bowlers, Kuldeep Yadav. Kuldeep Yadav, the best of our bowlers. In 17 matches, he's got 33 wickets. We've got Siraj there with 30 wickets. And we also have Shardul Thakur with 19 wickets. And Mohammad Shami here with 19 wickets. See, that's the spread. In the top 10, we've got 4 bowlers from India and 3 from Pakistan. So, and we've got Sri Lanka, 2 bowlers and 1 from Bangladesh. So that's the spread. Overall, our bowlers are helping each other. That's what we are seeing, a certain amount of cohesiveness in the bowling as far as wicket-taking abilities too. Interestingly, Kuldeep Yadav's the only spinner. The other 3 for us are medium pacers. So pace is now becoming a forte for us. Interesting numbers this, but overall, India looks to be one of the teams to watch out for in the Cricket World Cup 2023.